Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the PowettPlay Podcast. It's me, John and Shannon. I'm joined by Kieran Powell. How are you, Kai?
Enjoying life. How are you?
Yeah, we've a big win. Sound, good things. It was good game, but I think we've got to start with a wicket. Gee whiz!
I've seen places after hurricanes have better surfaces than what they're being asked to play on at the moment. I think it's atrocious, but I guess that's what you call home advantage, right? Obviously skewed on the side of the sublime to the ridiculous, but it is what it is. I mean, you go to those places, you get those wickets when they come to the Caribbean, you return the favor, is what I say. Simple as that.
Yeah, it's alarming when one of the best quicks in world cricket doesn't get into your side. You know that as soon as I seen that 11, I was like, whoa, that's alarming.
Well, you're talking about one of the best quicks in world cricket. This is the first time in the history of West Indies cricket that they've played a game and a seam bowler hasn't bowled a ball.
I know.
The least known of the West Indian bowlers in Alick Athanaze almost had the best figures for a West Indian in the history of ODI cricket in terms of economy rate. I mean, he bowled 10 overs for 14 runs.
Yeah, phenomenal.
That's a true. I fancy bowling on that for sure.
50 dot. Was it 50 dot balls? I'm sure he bowled some. Yeah, 50 dot balls he bowled. Alick Athanaze.
That's atrocious.
It's absolutely but. Like you said, that's the thing with home advantage. They know what was on the line, i.e. they go above, they go into the automatic the automatic spot, should I say, for the World Cup. So a lot on the line. I thought, when you look back on Shai's, ODI career, they'll look at the hundreds, and don't get me wrong, but that, for me, has got to be up there, because that was a very, very mature, and he led that attack. He was superb. I thought he batted really, really well in tough conditions.
I think he just played Shai, to be fair. I understand what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But for me, knowing Shai, seeing Shai play probably a lot more than you have, I think he's just played Shai more so than anything. He's played textbook Shai, in terms of batting through, trying to take it deep. My only issue is Shai's hands and above the best batter we have.
Yeah.
Difficult conditions like this, the most skilled, the most equipped batter. I need him batting more time, not less time. He came in at 5. Obviously, they're trying to keep the left, right going, regardless of what, because the next match is obviously series decider, and obviously you've just briefly alluded to what's on the line in terms of automatic World Cup qualification.
Yeah.
Obviously not at the end of this series, but it's going to be sort of tense between West Indies and Bangladesh going right down to the end.
Yeah.
I need Shai Hope batting at least at number 3.
Yeah.
I don't care what has to be done with the rest of the order. If they're not going to put him to open, which I doubt they will, I need him batting at least number 3, because I need him batting as many of the 300 balls as possible to give the West Indies the best chance possible of winning the game. He's the one that can impact the game.
Yeah.
He's the one that has the skill set, as we've seen, not just on the West Indies team, but in the series. Yeah. He's obviously the most skilled batter. And so you want to give him the opportunity to contribute and impact the game as much as possible.
Yeah. And do you know what? When you say that about Shai, like you said, you've seen him many more times than I have. My point was more towards the fact that it's the importance of the game and how he went about it, and with the constant, they couldn't seem to get that partnership. There would be a wicket, there'd be a partnership. I say partnership as in, we're talking obviously, small partnerships, but the way he kept going and stuff, you are absolutely right. It's very Shai-like and stuff. But I'm just a massive fan of. You said it earlier on. You said it on Sunday when we debriefed after the first one. Someone's going to have to get a gritty and a dirty 80. It turned out they had to be a gritty and dirty 50. Now, but like you mentioned there, if he comes in at 3 or 4, he probably finishes at 70 not, and it's a different game potentially. So, that's where they've got to get to, I suppose, from a partnership perspective. Well, it's just disappointing again from the batting side of things. It did it, those 20s.
Jordan, what are they supposed to do? on this pitch. For me, I look at it. I'll tell you how I look at it honestly. Instead of everyone trying to go and play and graft a score, I think you look at the way Justin Graves played with Shai in the end. I think that strengthens my case in terms of him going to open the batting.
Okay.
Because he's very skillful. That gives you less pressure. You allow Alick Athanaze to come in through the middle with the leg spinners on, obviously. I mean, he's got no sweeping twice, but he's going to go down that route. And that's something that you want to have in the middle overs to disrupt the spin. I would try and get, because Sherfane Rutherford looks absent at the moment. He doesn't look as though he's mentally there. Something looks as though something's not right. But for me, Shai Rutherford has a big role to play. Obviously, with the addition of an Akeal Hosein and obviously a Carty who can bat, so that lengthens your batting all the way to 11. I need Shai Rutherford to get me 40, 50 off 20, 25 balls. I don't need him to go and play. I need him to disrupt the entire game, change the course of the game, because that will have a significant impact on the bowlers that are used in that time frame, taking away from their quota, obviously making Bangladesh bowl their most potent bowlers. So the other batters will have a chance against less efficient or less effective bowlers as well in the back end, which will make scoring holistically throughout the innings a bit easier. But I need somebody to be a disruptor, whether it's a Sherfane Rutherford, a Brandon King, or even Casey Carty, who's obviously not known to be proficient against spin. Go out and really just play some shots and disrupt the bowling innings from Bangladesh, because I think that's the way how West Indies can sort of sway things in their favour.
I know I want to mention something about Shai Rutherford after this point, but you mentioned there about what you expect them to do. Was you not disappointed with how, say, Casey Carty got out?
I think we're all disappointed when we get it. It doesn't matter. Like you could be on 400. You're going to be disappointed. But obviously, yes. But in a sense, he showed a lot of improvement today. Strike rate still wasn't at I guess on the higher side, but given the conditions and given he's not the most proficient against spin, he would have played a role and contributed. So
yeah.
These types of pitches, these types of series, these types of games, you're looking for more so contributions than individual brilliance.
Yeah.
And I think that, his performance, while it's nothing to, I guess, break the bank or write home about, it's a performance that showed that he is learning.
Yeah.
He will get better against spin, and you can only do so by being in these situations more and more. So I think that it was a good little contribution from him.
The point I wanted to mention there, I got to mention the point about Shai Rutherford. Do you think Sammy coming out and mentioning that he approached Shai Rutherford about playing Test cricket and he said no will have an impact on his performance, because it feels a little bit, it could be a personal point that he's made and he didn't necessarily need to make that public?
I don't think it's anything to do with that, actually. I think that Sherfane probably actually did want to play Test cricket up until a certain point this year. But you look at sort of Sherfane from since last year to this year, something's just looking off the boil. He doesn't look himself. He doesn't look as engaged when he's batting or in the field. So I don't know if there's something more that's happening that obviously we're not aware of. But he just doesn't look his normal self, which the West Indies need him to be, because he's an important player, a big player in this team, not only from his skill set, but obviously because he bats left-handed as well. And, that adds a variety to the middle order in terms of his ability to play both spin and pace effectively.
The point you mentioned as well about someone playing that role of a disruptor, could you see Romario Shepherd coming into the third ODI? No.
Something's wrong with my eyes, because I definitely can't see that.
Why?
He's not going to be useful to the West Indies in these conditions. I said it, I think it was after the first ODI. Akeal Hosein should have been in the team. And then obviously, after we started saying that, other people started saying that, ironically. And then lo and behold, who comes into the team? Akeal Hosein, who bowls The new ball, Akeal Hosein, who has a vital partnership with the skipper at the end. Akeal Hosein. Akeal, I'm not happy with that shot. You should have just gotten Shai back and strike instead of trying to go for the boundary. Get the in batter in, and you run hard from the non-strikers end. Who bowls the super over? Yeah. You know, so obviously, if it's you've had all the other guys in the squad, and this one player has come in and had such an impact on the game. Knowing the conditions you're going to, that's what I'm saying. Like he should have been at the very least in this squad, and I think that Akeal Hosein should be in the one day team, and I think there's a case that he should have been selected for the test team as well. Akeal Hosein is a very good cricketer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Batting, bowling, fielding. He's a very, very good cricketer. I don't know why he was dropped from the ODI team. I don't know why he's not being considered for test match cricket, but. You see that he came in and he was given the responsibility straight away to lead so many facets and, enabling the West Indies to win a game today. That tells you that it's not just a small issue at hand. I think that he should have been in contention from the beginning and he should be in and around those teams.
Yeah, definitely. No, like you said, the point was proven there with the role he played and stuff. And yeah, I thought the exact same thing. You just give Shai, roll it into the offside and take a single and let Shai go at it. But you know what? In those situations, it's you do. That's what pressure does to you at times, doesn't it? To the end of the day, it does amazing things at times, and that's when the old saying of teacupping, which you think clearly under pressure, comes into it. It gets, it's hard. But the thing I wanted to mention as well to finish the game, especially in the super over, well, it was in the super over where, the left hand, right hand, and they were changing the field. And obviously Sammy was on the sideline trying to dictate the field settings. It sort of screamed to me, sort of looked a bit unprofessional from my part, really, and it undermined Shai as a captain.
And I think, I've touched on this many times in the past. Like, I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it. It looks like primary school type cricket, and for me, you see that when the West Indies look more natural, more organic in the terms of letting things flow through the skipper, not looking as though that they've got hard set plans as though, okay, this guy's going to bowl now and he's going to bowl 3 overs, then he's going to come off and you're going to bring, when you let things flow, the team looks as though that they perform a lot better as opposed to being mechanical and not getting the results they want. Things like that, because I've never seen a coach do that to Sammy when he was captain, and I'm sure Sammy would not have liked that when he was captain as well.
Absolutely.
The job of a coach is to prepare the players, and then once they go onto the field, you let them rock. Obviously, if there's something you see out of the cases, you can send a message. Don't be sending a message every over. Don't be sending 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 messages.
No.
I'm sending the waterman back. And if he comes with a message, I'm giving him a message to take back. That's how I do it. But I don't really like it. I think that, as you said, it looks very unprofessional, and it looks as though you don't necessarily trust your coach, your captain, or you don't think that he's going to read the game as he should be. And that's sort of why Rovman Powell lost the T20 captaincy as well, because he alluded to the fact that, Rovman alluded to the fact that as much as you plan, cricket has a gut feel element. 100%. It definitely does. Like, you can plan a million things, but when you go on the day, something completely different could be happening, and you need to make those changes based on what you see and what you feel.
Yeah.
That instinct and understanding of the game. So
massively.
I think Sammy should be kept in the dressing room, is what I'm saying in short.
No, definitely. I always think as well, especially with Shai being captain, he's got that view. A wicketkeeper has that, he's got it, he can see, like you said, it's the senses of, if it's bringing mid-wicket a bit tighter and a bit more around the corner, because he can physically see what the back, it's different. You've got to trust that. And it wasn't right. It doesn't send the right message from a standpoint from the environment when you're doing stuff like that, because you sort of, like I said, you mentioned you're undermining Shai, and it just doesn't look that great from a cohesive nature in terms of being that organic, which is what you want to do, that for sure.
100%.
So leading into the decider, do you not see any changes then in terms of people coming back in?
No, people coming back in, won't be coming back in for this series. They'll be coming back in to get to the airport. I think the only thing I'd do is rejig maybe the batting order a bit. As I said, I'd have Graves up top. I'd have Athanaze in the middle.
Yeah.
Definitely going all spin again if conditions are the same, which they look to be. Or even worse. They're not going to get any
better, are they? So.
By the looks of it. So
no.
Yeah. And if anything, I'd want to bat first, because the commentators were speaking about a lack of dew today. I'd like to put the Bangladesh team under pressure. I'd like to get 230 plus and try and see how they can score that.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it. Like, I don't see any wholesale changes or anything. I think that they've now got the right combination. Obviously, Bangladesh have seen Alick Athanaze now, so I'm not sure if he's going to be as effective, but he definitely has to bowl. And I think what needs to happen is Gudakesh Modi hasn't had the best of days in both games.
No, he hasn't.
So that should be a balancing act where Gudakesh Modi has probably his best game of the game, even if Alick Athanaze goes for, let's say, 30 as opposed to 14 or 35-40.
Yeah.
You should be able to restrain them. And Moti is obviously more of a wicket-taking threat than Alick as well. So, having said that, Alick didn't get 2 wickets as well, so I may be wrong. But I think that's pretty much the way to go.
No, I'm totally with you on that. And like I said, the one bowler he was wouldn't be expecting to go at 6s or 6.5. He was Moti, but like you said, I think that's the way you want to see that in the third game. He goes back into his 3.5 and 4s, and you probably will see Alick go up. Because this is now his test effectively, because they worked a few things out. But it's going to be a tough game. Again, it's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be a gritty game, and it's going to be a case of who's going to dig in and find ways of just scraping. If you're batting first and you get into a 215, 220, and then ultimately, if you're chasing, who's going to anchor that innings?
100%. Guys have got to be willing to look ugly up front, absorb lots of pressure, absorb lots of balls. It's not easy for guys coming in to start at the back end anyway.
No.
So it's better if you have like at least a set batter in that's faced lots of ball and could potentially try and take the game on more than a new batter coming in.
Yeah, no, with you on that. No, good debrief. I enjoyed that. Good to get your thoughts. It was a very good game. Let us know what you thought. Let us know if you think any changes will take place going into the decider. Do keep your comments in, and Karen will get back to you. And thank you so much for joining us for another episode of the PowettPlay Podcast. Thank you.